in the boardroom as The Apprentice is back tomorrow night. Our very own Roman Kemp took one for the team and went head-to-head with Lord Sugar for his toughest interview yet.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
Could you send the young gentleman in from the One Show, please?
Yes, Lord Sugar. You can go through to the boardroom now.
Come on, come on. Lord Sugar, do I bow? Do you curtsy?
Hello.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me today.
Take a seat, young man. Right, Roman, I've given you the task of interviewing us about The Apprentice. Now, if I don't like any of your questions, you'll be out that door quicker than you can say the One Show. OK?
It's quite a big table for just 3 people. Anyway, Lord Sugar, what can you tell us about the new series?
This year has got the potential of being one of the best we've ever done. We've got a whole portfolio of candidates. I've got pharmacists, I've got experts in accountancy, so it's going to be very exciting.
Karen, what can we be expecting to see from the task this year?
Well, every task is really geared towards checking that if they got the money, can they actually run the business? So all of the tasks have a specific theme. We've got a great episode 1 coming up where we go to the Scottish Highlands and they have to put on a tourist task. It's particularly memorable for me because I'm in a wetsuit going down a forge. Something not to be repeated when it's very cold.
And Tim, for you, do you find it hard not to intervene or help too much?
It's not difficult at all because we're there to help them be the best that they can be to get the potential £250,000 investment from Lord Sugar. And actually, it's not just the money, it's the mentorship that they're going for as well. So our role is not to mollycoddle or save them, it's just to make sure we're highlighting an honest appraisal back to Lord Sugar.
He said, you're being too polite, Tim. You told me it's like watching your mother-in-law drive the Ferrari over the cliff sometimes.
My mum's still waiting for the Ferrari.
But Lord Sugar, are you tougher over the years with the contestants?
They say his bark is worse than his bite.
Yeah.
But trust me, his bark is pretty bad.
Look, I consider myself to be firm, but fundamentally fair. I can't stand inefficiency, really, so I do lose it occasionally.
You do love, ringing the contestants and making sure the candidates, they're spoken to very early in the morning. Is there a moment where your phone can switch off?
I have to switch my phone off because my wife gives me hell if I leave it on and it bleeps in the middle of the night. So it is switched off, to be honest with you.
And Tim, fans of the show, they love the interview process. For someone that's watching, what information can they take for a potential interview for themselves?
You've got to remember, you've been called there, so you've got something that's of value. So remember that as a starting point. But the 3 things that they should be thinking about, particularly in this process, is be prepared. So make sure you've done your research. Don't come in with any waffle, because that will get found out really quickly. Be honest. If you've lied, we'll find out. And make sure that you're memorable for the right reasons, because you're in a competitive process and you want to stand out from everybody else.
Karen, what would your advice be?
So be assertive, be confident, be able to take credit for your successes you've had in the past and be able to communicate really well and smile. Everyone likes to work with enthusiastic people.
Of course, but overconfidence must be a thing, though.
Oh, overconfidence is the worst.
What's the biggest mistake that someone can do when they're going for a job? What's
Well,
that?
you've just broken the first rule. I mean, you could have come in with a suit.
Yeah, I did. I should have ironed as well.
This is not the golf club, you know.
Have you ever fired someone and then gone home that night and kind of gone, I made a mistake there?
Yeah, simple answer is no. Right? No, not really. Those that have gone are gone. Karen's been here for years with me. She might back me up on that. She's never turned round to me and said, what are you doing firing that one there? What are you doing? Other than if he was a handsome, gorgeous bloke.
Beg your pardon.
Or a West Ham supporter.
Oh, the West Ham supporter, sure. Back them all the way.
Yeah. Well, Roman, I've given you enough time here. The first mistake you made was coming here dressed like that. And more importantly, you're an Arsenal supporter, so you're fired.
Thank you for the opportunity. I still think we'll finish above you next season, I'm sorry.
That is a good decision from Lord Sugar.
I knew you'd have something to say about that.
What's he on about? Finishing above Spurs, not happening. Anyway, thank you, Roman. The Apprentice returns, BBC One and iPlayer, tomorrow at 9 p.m.